Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Ro Ghoul. I know, I'm making another one insane, but I don't know, I just have a lot of video ideas and I just kind of wanted to show them off. So anyways, I'm going to be telling you and going over what you should utilize whilst fighting players, or even Eto herself. Now, in most of the fights you get into, you're usually left-handed and not right-handed, because I'm, of course, focusing that on people that are right-handed than left-handed, which means that you aren't as strong as most people. Like, this boss right here is a perfect example. She annihilates, she hurts, she does a lot of damage, and she'll destroy you. Like so. So, you are very left-handed in this fight because you won't have much to work with, because she is extremely fast, and she has her own move set. So, she'll usually utilize against you. So, I'm going to be going over what you should be utilizing in fights. Now, if you are not a coward and you do enjoy fighting another player and don't just run away, then I can really, really is focused more on you. Did I really just miss that? But in most of the fights you would want to get into, you would want to jump around. You would want to hold in your spacebar key because it will usually give you a bonus advantage in most of the fights you get into, because she will have a really, or most players that use Eto, because they enjoy to use their favorite move, their R key, which usually shoots shards at them. Shards out of the player and will end up hitting someone else, and it's usually the best move they have because it has range to it, and range is good, and it shoots it rapidly, so it does a lot of damage. So, and it has a wide range, so it's easy to hit. But when you can actually jump over this, and it won't hit you at all. If not, it will usually hit you, but it'll only hit you about once, and that's basically it. So that can be used in your own personal advantage against another player. So if this is, yes, I know I'm kind of directing this towards an Eto, but this can still work against other players. Now, against someone that uses IXA, this would not work, because most of the IXAs, actually if not all of them, actually are big enough just to hit you just outside of your jumping range. And I'm pretty sure T-Human's F move does, but I could be completely wrong about that. I know I'm not really showing any examples right now, but I'm just kind of farming on my characters and listening to ASMR because I can, because I have a headache. But in all seriousness though, most players don't really know this, but a lot of them do, like a lot of the advanced players. And another thing I want to kind of go over here is picking your fights. Picking your fights is a really important thing, and this is like this in any game. If you play Team Fortress 2, you have the ability to pick a fight. So do you know what fight you can take and which one would be a good fight to take? Then go ahead and take that fight if it's a good fight. But don't take it if you know it's a bad fight. So if you know that player will completely destroy you, then don't pick the fight. It's not smart. If you know that you're weaker than the boss, don't pick the fight because you're just going to die to it. And I know I'm weaker than the boss, but I still pick the fight. But that's because I know ways to kind of cheese it, which is exactly what I mean by utilize what you have. So as a Taki, if you know the player uses range, to use your E and R abilities to kind of get out of the way, because then you can dodge a move. Just like it could be a very powerful move that hurts a lot, because like recently players have been using Kaika and using I forgot the other one, but it's another ranged one. I think it costs about 500 million around there. It's pretty good, but most players have been using it recently. It's been kind of buffed and it's been changed a lot, and it's really good. So jumping around and using your abilities to your own advantage, even if it doesn't hit the player, you could still use it to get away or dodge something or anything like along those lines. So that is really what you should be doing, is utilizing what you have. So as a Taki, which I'm going to focus just against Takis, yes I know. As a Taki, personally, I would assume that I know more than most other people that even own Taki, but I've kind of figured it out because I've figured out what is good against a player. Now, if you are fighting a T-Human, and the T-Human is about your strength, and you know they're pretty buff and they deal a lot of damage to you, you might want to be careful on the fight you pick with this guy, because using your E and R abilities, they are usually short on range, and trust me, you would have been at least 2 inches away from them from hitting them with R or E to do a basic combo, just barely. which usually gives that guy enough range to just hit you with their F, E, or R key. Remember that. So hitting them directly with it is very not smart. So you should always try to kind of get out of their, in a sense, line of sight before you even attempt attacking them. So just always keep on the move. If you stop moving, like, as you see my character here, you will end up getting hurt pretty bad. So keep on the move. And most players already know that if you keep moving, it will be a lot harder to kill you. Now, you want to be very unpredictable with your movements. You want to make sure that, you're not getting destroyed by someone else, and that other person isn't trying to completely obliterate you with godlike powers like their Netta or their Kaika or their Naru or any one of those things, or Ataki. You want to be very weary of what you're doing. So keep on the move and make it unpredictable in a sense. What I like to do is, instead of just simply just dashing to one side, I usually like to do this. Because most players don't really expect it. Oh god, I messed it up. But it's whatever. Most players don't really expect you to do something like that. Here, I'm going to get her down here. Most players wouldn't really expect you to keep on the move and do this. So don't just move to one side, because then players can line up a projectile on you, or they can do whatever the heck they want. Oh yeah, she can climb ladders, by the way. That is a thing she can do. So just keep a note on that. But if you keep moving, like I said, it makes you unpredictable and it makes you harder to hit. But that is mainly for the ranged people. Now, people that don't have range, like someone like a Ken, most Kens, actually no Ken has range. Now, they do have like abilities where they kind of launch forward and hit the ground and yada yada yada. Which you would usually, like I said, if you keep moving, it's harder for them to hit that kind of thing. So that's why they're not really that meta, but they're still pretty good if you can use it correctly. So. Oh yeah, this farm won't work if you get her on the ladder, so just don't do that. It's not smart. Or you can get her under the bridge here and press your F key. Just thought I'd let you know. This works with the second stage of Taki as well, by the way. So remember that. But in a fight, most players look for your weakness. Now, usually, typically of me, I usually lose a fight before I win the fight. So I'll get into it, lose, and then know what I did wrong and know what they did wrong, and then use that what they did wrong and what I did wrong and change that. I would do it right this time and use what they did wrong and use that against them, because there's this thing called being predictable. Okay, just like Final Stand, you can be very predictable with what you're going to do, so it's usually you're able to be countered. So you should always be on the watch out for counters. And that goes for yourself, and that goes for other players. So keeping your eye on what a player does wrong is a smart thing to do, instead of what they do right. Even if they are good at the game, everyone has flaws. Yes, everyone has flaws. Even Ninja on Apex has flaws. So it's kind of. So, anyways, while playing this game, you usually, if you want to get points for ranked and you want to get better at your PvP style, find a Kagane that is correct for you, and just always fight in the arena. Ask a higher level player to fight you in the arena, just because they're more experienced than you. Typically, I'm not saying that every player is, but I'm just saying always fight a higher level player to improve your skills and see how good you do. Now, like I said, utilize what they do wrong and use it against them, because like it said, it's a counter, just like Final Stand. If you guys like Final Stand and you guys want to get into Ro Ghoul, it is a very, very, very easy thing to do, but it's very, very hard to learn. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap up this video here. If you would like me to do more, I'm gonna do it anyways. But if you'd like me to do more, just comment down below. Hey, autistic child that is fat and lazy, make more. Peace off.